GPT-5 just dropped, and it's wild. Here are 7 facts you probably didn't know. If you're looking to add captions to your AI video clone with N8N, this is the perfect video for you. Doesn't even matter if it's an AI clone, you can do this on any video. And the main benefit is that you don't want to spend money on a monthly subscription, be it Creatomate or JSON to Video. The prices can start ramping up. All these monthly subscriptions add up over time. So this is almost completely free. We do have to spend a tiny bit of credits, but other than that, it's completely free on captions that look good. So if you're looking on social media right now, you have to have captions in your video to grab people's attention. So this actually creates it really well. And the steps that we're going to go through here, it's only 3. How to get FFmpeg set up in self-hosting. This only works in self-hosting. But if you're doing any sort of video generation, you should do self-hosted N8N anyways, because you can do a lot more things with it. The one-line fix to read and write big video files. This one took me hours and hours to figure out, but now it's just one line. And we're going to set up the caption automation. So by the end of this video, you can just put any video in here and you have a dynamic, beautiful caption. So if that sounds awesome, stick with me. Before we begin, I just wanted to say that this is a bigger part of the building my AI clone that does videos for me with this huge N8N automation that scrapes social media. It scripts a YouTube script, it creates the voice, it creates the avatar. And I have been doing this offline, and so I wanted to kind of start filming and documenting my process here so I can kind of explain everything more in detail. So if you're just landing on episode 1 on how to add captions, there are going to be future videos where I explain all of the other steps here. So don't worry about it. But for now, all you have to think about is this caption automation that makes beautiful captions on your video. So the first thing that we're going to do is to set up FFmpeg on your self-hosting. The video that I found on how to set this up was from this guy, Skylar Gerard. It's one of the simplest videos that I found on how to set it up. And he's using DigitalOcean, as you see in the top here, DigitalOcean. I don't recommend DigitalOcean because it is a lot more complex. It takes, you actually have to buy a domain and set all of that up. If you just check through a little bit of the video, you might see that he's actually buying a domain and adding it and stuff like that with pork bun. I don't really like that. So what I use instead is Hostinger. It's a lot easier to set up. It literally takes a couple of clicks to set up. So you don't have to worry about installing Docker, installing N8N, and doing all the things in terminal. That I'm not a coder or programmer. I'm just a problem solver. So I want to get things as easy as possible. So that's why I use Hostinger. So if you don't have a self-hosted N8N, just write Hostinger and N8N into Google and you'll land on this page right here. And the plan that you need for this is the KVM2. It's definitely going to be a help to get the version 2 because you get the 2 vCPU cores, the 8 gigabit RAM, and the 100 gigabyte disk space. With the first plan, you get all these CPUs, but it definitely is needed when we're going to crunch things in N8N to actually have a little bit more of a beefy computer. And if you don't know what this is at all, it's basically just setting up your own computer in the cloud that you can use to run N8N. So what I did was I basically chose this plan here, KVM2. And I like to get things as cheap as possible. So I did go with the 24 months. If you check the 1 month, you can see that it's like $9.99 per month. But after that, it's like $18 a month. So I kind of wanted to extend my discount over 2 years. After that, I just clicked on the N8N setup right here. they do also have like the N8N 100 workflows. Maybe that's something you can only do inside. Yeah, here it is. So the N8N 100 workflows. I don't know why I got this one. All of a sudden, my N8N is full of a bunch of workflows that I'm probably never going to use. But I was thinking, content. Maybe I can make a video on every single one of these. But I found out that they're all kind of, you know, I don't want to go through somebody else's automation. I'd rather make my own so I understand all of what's going on. Anyways, once you've done that, you'll end up on this screen right here, which is the hpanel.hostinger.com. And this is where you need to follow this guy's tutorial step by step. I'm going to show you all the steps right now that I did, and you'll get it set up in no time. So if we go through here, let's go to setting up FFmpeg. So the first command that we're going to run is a sudo apt update.
Apt update, hit enter. That's going to do some updates. Shouldn't take very long at all. Once that's done, we're going to want to find our Docker compose file. So I'll show you guys how to do that. We're going to want to type in, cd/opt, and then we're going to want to do ls. That's going to list out all the files.
So you probably don't have to do cd/opt. You can probably just write ls, and I'll show you in my terminal as well.
Files, all the folders, and we're going to want to do cd N8N-docker-caddy.
This also you don't have to do because we have N8N installed on our first folder.
That's going to put us in that folder, and then we're going to list out the files again.
So the only thing you need to do is to write ls, and you'll probably get the docker/compose.yml or dash.
And as you can see, we have docker compose.yml. So now we're going to type in nano docker-compose.yml. That's going to allow us to edit the file.
So this is basically the main thing that you have to do in Hostinger as well, nano docker, and you only have to change this one.
So now we're going to want to come down to the section where it says image docker.n8n.io/n8nio/n8n. We're going to want to delete this, and we're going to want to put in this file right here, this name. So leave image and then put in n8n-with-f.
So if I check my own as well, I have the exact same, and that's because we're going to install it in that way. So in a Hostinger, you just click on the browser terminal in the top, and once that has loaded, what I have to do, at least, the only thing I have to do is write ls, bang, and you can see my Docker compose file right there. So I just do nano docker-compose.yml. And here you can see that I have the exact same N8N with FFmpeg latest. So onwards.
FFmpeg:/latest. And then once you're done, hit the little up arrow and X. I'm not even going to name that one, to be honest. And then hit Y to confirm the save and file name. Hit enter, and then we are done editing that file. Good. Next up, we're going to need to edit the Docker file. So we're already in the N8N Docker caddy. We can just do nano docker file. It's going to open up a new file, and we're just going to paste in this code again that I'm going to give you guys. And same thing, we're going to want to exit out.
So I'm actually going to give you access to this description, but please check him out because he's doing amazing. And I wouldn't be able to set up FFmpeg without him. So I'm going to add this to the document here that I'm going to give you. So all the code and everything is going to be there that you have to copy and paste. Here we go. Let's move forward.
Hit yes.
So you can see here that
we're going to,
what it actually does is that it runs this no cache FFmpeg, and this installs FFmpeg is what I think it does at least.
Exit out. Hit yes. Hit save. And then we're going to rebuild with our new Docker and FFmpeg. So we just paste in this right here. We have Docker build my.
So here we go, that we're actually going to build this exact file. And so again, it's going to be in the Notion document that I just shared.
New build name, and then Docker compose up, and we're going to hit enter. It's now going to rebuild, and that's pretty much it, guys. It is that simple. Like I said, this took me hours to do the first time, but once you figure it out, once you do it the right way, it's super easy. So now this is done, and our N8N server is up and running, and it also has FFmpeg installed. So we can go to, and we can open up a new workflow, and then I can show you guys here. You can test to see that FFmpeg is in fact installed. It's super simple. All you're going to want to do is create an execute node and execute. command, execute command, and then we're
So executing command node, and then you're going to do version.
type in FFMPEG and then minus version and hit execute. And as you can see here, we have the FFmpeg.
Awesome. You see that? And so this will happen to us as well. Once you have rebuilt that thing from scratch with FFmpeg, then when you go in here, you do an execute command. You just saw it. You will get an actual version pop up. And so that is how to get FFmpeg built and set up. It's very easy to do once you just follow that tutorial. And yeah, just set it up with this. So now you should have a self-hosted N8N up and running with FFmpeg set up. Now the next step is to get the one line change to read and write big video files. This took me hours and hours to actually do, and it's just this tiny N8N default binary data mode to file system. And the real reason that you want to do this is because when we're sending files, it's not going to be able to read things above maybe 25 megabytes, and that's kind of low. Sometimes we might be working with 350 megabytes. And so that's very important that we have that ability to actually be able to do that. So I'll show you from scratch. So I'll just do Command X. I'm going to go into the hostinger, go into the browser terminal. And once again, it depends where you have installed everything now, but you should be able to write ls enter. And here you'll have a docker dash compose.yml dash compose.yml. And I need to write nano before that, nano enter. And here you're basically inside of everything that you have inside of the computer, if that analogy is working. Now inside of the environment itself, all you got to do is to write this line here. Once again, I'll give you this exact file so you can just copy and paste this, and you just copy and paste it directly in here. So if I would do this from scratch, I'll probably not have this one in here. So it will be looking something like this. Nope. And this is quite tedious that you can't actually use your mouse here. You have to use your keyboard, and it will probably look something like this. So just do enter, tab, 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 dash, and then paste the entire thing in there. It was a double dash, just like that. You click on Control X, and then you click on Y. Then you click on enter. Just like that, you're back. And you might have to compose up and compose down. ChatGPT is going to be your best friend here. The next thing we have to do is to add a videos folder. So this is where we're going to store a lot of different things. So if you don't have any folder system, it's quite nice to have a videos folder where you can just put everything inside, and you know that every single video, every single audio as well can be inside of this folder. And so the same thing goes where we write nano. I think we can just click up arrow, nano docker compose, and inside, and here we can just scroll down, inside the volumes, you need to add this phrase here, which is a ./videos:/videos. This creates a file system where you have a videos folder. I'm going to go out with Control X once again, but now you may see that if I write ls just like this, you see that there's a videos blue. And so if I just write cd videos, that's going to get me into that folder. And if I write ls now, you can see I have all the different files that I have uploaded to it through N8N. So now we've changed the default binary mode to file system, and we also made a new folder where we store things called /videos. And so we can always just instantly get access to this entire folder by this /videos/ and then the name of the file that we have uploaded to. And so we're going to use this read write a lot over the next coming. This is basically the game changer with N8N self-hosting, and why you want to do everything on self-hosting when it comes to video generation and FFmpeg. Now the next step here is to actually get the captions automation setup. So the tutorial that I was watching is from this guy here called Digital Lagoon. Fantastic tutorial. However, it is a little bit longer and more complex than we actually need. So that's why I used it as a kind of inspiration. But here you can see the exact captions that it's going to generate.
You had an automation that could take your videos, transcribe them, and add subtitles, just like on this video.
Isn't that cool? So you see the automation right here. You can actually download it for free in the description of the video. You have the video here as well. But I'm going to go through step by step what I have done in order to get this set up myself. And I'm actually currently stuck on the create as. And knowing that my audience is like 90% male, I believe you're pretty interested in figuring out how to create as. So yeah, we're going to do that together. But yeah, I want to just give credit where credit is due. So let's start with how to do the actual caption automation from scratch. So if you know me, I run most of my automations through a trigger agent. So this is the trigger agent here where I'm basically setting up a button that triggers the automation. Then it actually writes the YouTube script. Then I click another button that creates the voiceover. Then I click another button that creates the avatar. And as you can see, I'm in the add captions button now, where we click here, it takes this video here, which is from Google Drive. At the end of the automation, we should get that video with a caption on top of it. And if you're wondering, oh, can't you just do all of this back to back to back? You can always just add a node or a line that goes through to the end of the next automation if you just want to continue going through again and again and again, or run the entire thing all in one go. But I like to have the control of being able to see what the output of the script is before we run through a bunch of other stuff, so I can edit it and have a human in a loop. So now that you've seen the trigger automation in Airtable, what we're actually doing is we're sending a webhook through a button. So here is the webhook that we're sending, and all we're sending is the record ID, and we're sending the clone drive. And so if you were to want to change this yourself, all you have to do is to make a webhook, copy the webhook link, go into the link itself inside of the button, and select everything past the question mark or behind the question mark, and then click on Command V. So now we pasted the webhook in here. Since I have it set up, I'm just going to click on cancel. The next step, let me just go back here, is to actually download the video. So here we actually get, let me run it all the way through until the issue that I have where we need to create as. I don't know why they actually called it as, like, couldn't they be a little bit more, they could have named it something else. So yeah, we're stuck at as. Now, I just want to show you the automation from scratch so you can set this up instead of downloading the template. Basically, we're going to download the link itself. So the link that we get is this exact clone video. And if you're using Google Drive, it's important that you have this and export equals download. This is a download link, so it's very easy to send through automations. So just look at this. If you have an ID, for example, you can just copy paste the ID in between the equals and the and symbol, and then we actually get the file into our N8N. But of course, we only have it basically in the automation, so we need to write the file to disk. So what we're doing here is, again, we're doing a /videos/ and then we have the caption is the record ID. I love using the record ID because it actually is connected with this entire line. So if I'm going to use the voiceover drive as well, we have the record ID of any other link in here. If I'm, for example, using the voiceover drive, I have a MP3 that's also connected with the record ID. So that's why we're using the record ID in here. And so you see that the videos is going to be called the record ID underscore clone MP4. So this is the original file. So we write that to disk. Then we use another node to execute a command. This is basically just to get the width and height of the video. This is important for the captions itself, that we are able to place it in the correct place, essentially. Next, we use some code just to parse out the width and height. This is important because we're going to use the width and height in the later stages, and it's nice to have it in two separated configurations. Then the next thing is that we need to get the audio file because we're going to run Whisper. So here is where record ID comes in. We get the audio file, and here as well, because we have the webhook send a record ID, we can target a voiceover that we created in the previous step. So here, for example, when we created the voice that looks something like this, here we wrote to our Docker or folder with the record ID. We sped it up by 1.25 because it was way too slow. And then so it's now saved to our files. And so if we want to call that from here, we know exactly what the record ID of that is. And we know the exact name of it because we've set it up with a record ID. So that's why we're doing it like this. So here, again, it's going to be the exact same record ID underscore voice underscore 125, because I know that is the name of it. It's very nice to call up later at a later stage, essentially. And then we need to run it through Whisper. This is the only place where this caption is going to run into some cost. So the cost here is that we're using the Whisper by OpenAI to basically send this voice file to Whisper and get the text as well as word start end. This is important again because of the captions. So it can say exactly when the word is spoken and when we can highlight it, so it looks really dynamic and nice. The cool part about this is that you can install it on your self-hosting. So you don't actually have to spend any credits. You can just use it on self-hosting. I haven't set that up myself yet, but that is a way to make it completely free. If you want to find a tutorial on how to do that, this guy, again, Digital Lagoon, he has a tutorial on how to install Whisper on an Unraid server. I never used Unraid before, but I can probably understand it's very similar to Hostinger. So probably would check this out if you're really interested in the cost. But it really is a couple of cents that we're spending. Just to show you the exact thing that we're using here is that we're sending a bearer auth. And I have my OpenAI bearer token in here. Then we're using form data, model Whisper, response format, verbose JSON. Form data as well, we need this timestamps. This is how we get these things on the right side. And then in the binary file, this took me a little bit of time because I was like, should I just put the folder name in here and the exact folder? But the thing is that we actually need to get the data as a binary file, and then we need to send it to this parameter as a binary file as well. So the name is really file. This name can be pretty much anything, I think. And the input data field name has to be data. And this is because of this here. Now, the next step is going to be to create the as. And I'm really excited about that. However, I haven't done it before, so I need to get some help from my best friend, GPT-5. Do you like GPT-5? I like it so far, but yeah, this is going to be cut a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to explain everything as I go. The main error that we got now is this. So I did some testing on it yesterday. But yeah, I'm just going to describe to ChatGPT, and yeah, I'm going to go back and forth from here on. Again, I want to give credit to the guy here that made this code. I'm basically using his code and trying to bug fix it. And so he's coded it with set video res, but our code node is called just code. So I'm going to change this set video res to code, just like that. And that should fix this line 41 and 42. There you go. I also tried to use this words here and put that into the response JSON parse, but I think we're gonna get a issue there. Yeah, the line 54. So let's copy and paste that into ChatGPT again. All right, I think I found the issue, and that is his output looks like this. So he gets a long string with everything, while we actually get a JSON string that is all separated into all these objects. And so what we need to do is, I think we can actually just remove the JSON parse, because we have the parsed data already. So we can remove this, and that might be the fix. So I'm running into a lot of issues right now, and that's why I'm kind of going to try to recreate the script. So I write a longer message to ChatGPT saying that, hey, can you rewrite the script knowing that this is my JSON? So I basically said, since you know the output of my whisper looks like this, then I copied the entire JSON object. Then I said, and you know my code looks like this, and I copy pasted the entire code. I said, can you rewrite the entire code so it's copy and paste for me? And so you can see that. Yep, here we go. Can you rewrite the entire JavaScript code so it works when I just copy and paste? Then I said, use thinking, and now it's going to use thinking, and hopefully we're going to get something back. This happens. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm crossing my fingers. So here we get the entire code. It's writing right now. I'm gonna just copy and paste 239. We'll see what happens when I execute. We immediately got the ass. Download. Let's see what actually happens. I'll paste the ass code in the community. I asked if you can see what's inside and write it out for me, and it seems like we actually got the start, end, and the style and the margin and everything. So that's cool. That's sick. GPT-5, just killing it. One thing I do want to mention is that there is font name, size, color, and bold text options and everything like that that we can actually change to make the design look cooler, but we'll figure that out once we actually get it onto the video. The next step is going to be to save the file. Here we're going to use /videos/ and then we're going to use the record ID underscore that we get from the caption web hook right here. So I'll get the record ID. I'll do underscore right here with the subtitles as, and we'll write the file to this. That should be awesome. That is looking good. And then we need to make a new video where we combine the video itself with the subtitles. Here we're gonna name the folder /videos. Here we're gonna have the input be the write to. So we can use the $folder function, or we can just add the file name directly from the write path. Just like that. The output as well, we're actually going to use the folder, and then we're going to have the record ID with captions. So we find the record ID down here, pop the record ID in here, and now it should look like this. Folder with these subtitles, we need to change that. Here we can also use this subtitle name as the string that we're gonna put in. And here is actually something where we override the font name. Now I'm going to use Arial, and hopefully this is going to work. It seems like we have changed everything here. Let's see. It's executing the node, And FFmpeg is using some time, so it might take anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds, I believe. There we go. We created a new video. I'm going to remove this cleanup files, and I'm going to find a read node, and I'll copy the function from the previous step. Make sure I write videos in the beginning. Let's execute this step. There we go. We have a file. Let's see what happened. GPT-5 just dropped, and it's wild. Here are 7 facts you probably didn't know. Fact 1, no more model switching. That's actually pretty good. GPT-5 is integrated and decides when to think harder all by itself. Fact, however, we need to change the font. I'm just gonna make sure I pin one of these modules from before so we don't have to execute the entire thing. So I think the bolding of the words was a little bit too big. The stroke size, so the outline is 10. Let's do 5. Also, I'm gonna make sure I find the Arial bold, or maybe there's Montserrat. So it seems like we can go to Hostinger and check out all the fonts we have available in our FFmpeg. So I'm gonna go do that. FC-list not found. So we need to go to nano docker-compose YML, and here I'm going to copy paste this into ChatGPT. We need to go to volumes, and I'm going to add a new one, which is this user share fonts. Control X, Y, and enter. Now we can run the sudo update and install font config. So here we will get a lot of fonts. It'll probably just take a couple of seconds. Now that we've done that, we can do fc-list sort, and it seems like we have deja vu. So let me see which ones I actually like here. I do like deja vu sans bold. So let's check that one out, and let's see what string we actually need to use. And that's the deja vu sans mono bold or deja vu sans dash bold TTF. In the font name, let's do it like this, and let's see what happens if we run that. Seems like it ran, and then let's read the file and check it out. GPT-5 just dropped, and it's wild. Here are 7. So now it's just a little bit too big. I also want it a little bit higher up. So let's change that. So I guess font size is going to help. Let's do 90. Also the highlight font size is a little bit too big. Let's make it 100. Also, there are some times where the max gap time is a little bit too high, so I'm going to set that a little bit lower. I think alignment makes it so it goes a little bit more up. So I think 5 should be probably dead center. So maybe we'll do a little bit below dead center. There is also a text option with bold. I might want to try the bold a little bit. So let's do 2 for that one, or let's just do 10 so we test it and then pull it back later. But I think that is pretty good. Execute step. We're going to save that file. Then we're going to run it once again. There we go. And we read the file. Let's check it out now. GPT-5 just dropped, and it's wild. Here are 7 facts you probably didn't. All right, so this is what we got now. Fact 1, no more model switching. GPT-5 is integrated and decides when. So we definitely messed up the left to right. GPT-5 just dropped, and it's wild. Here are 7 facts you probably didn't know. Fact 1, no more model switching. GPT-5 is integrated. So it's hugging the left side. That's not good. Let's fix that. I think if we do alignment 2 and margin V600, let's run it again. It's getting better and better. Remember to keep saving. Here's the next video. Let's take a look again. GPT-5 just dropped, and it's wild. Here are 7 facts you probably didn't know. Fact 1, no more model switching. GPT-5 is integrated and decides when to think harder all by itself. Fact 2, it's OpenAI's most reliable and factual model ever, smashing records like SWE Bench. Fact 3, PhD-level intelligence is now free. Even free-tier users get reasoning mode. Fact 4, it can build interactive code to... It's pretty good, though. It's definitely pretty good. Let's try even smaller font size, 60 and 70 for the bold color. I do like words to show 3. Maybe I need to add a little bit of the minimum on-screen duration for any word. I think that should be fine. It's also possible to make it so we do only all caps, but let's see with just a little bit of a lower font size if that is going to be the main thing. Executed, read the file, and let's check. GPT-5 just... That's looking good. Dropped, and it's wild. Here are 7 facts you probably didn't know. Fact 1, no more model switching. GPT-5 is integrated and decides when to think harder all by itself. Fact 2, it's OpenAI's most reliable and factual model. That's pretty good. I don't like exactly that part where we kind of get 2 things stuck on top of each other. So I need to fix that. All right, we need to tweak the code. So we're going to add this tiny gap between groups. And ChatGPT is telling me that we can kind of add this entire thing on top of it, but we ain't gonna do that. Hopefully that fixes it all. Let's execute that, save the file, run the FFMPEG, and read that file again. Let's see what we got working with. GPT-5 just dropped, and it's wild. Here are 7 facts you probably didn't know. Fact 1, no more model switching. GPT-5 is integrated and decides when to think harder all by itself. Fact 2, it's OpenAI's most reliable and factual model ever, smashing that was almost records like SWE Bench. Fact, seems like we got it mostly where I want it. A little tweak here and there, but I'm really happy with how far we came. Getting FFmpeg set up, changing the lines so we can do big files, and getting the caption automation set up. I'll make sure to add the new code. Bang. Just like that. So you can now add any video in here and have dynamic, beautiful captions. If you want more help, check out our community AI Mate in the link in the description. To download all the blueprints, we're going to have a new field in here for the AI video clone. Once everything is a little bit more polished, and inside of the community, you can always ask me questions and I'll answer within 24 hours. Make sure to subscribe and keep watching the AI video clone series. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.